Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews.
Wait a minute. Isn't there supposed to be 4 of you?
Please be nice. Ow, 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 ow.
You suck.
Cowabunga! Heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure, and it's from the new series, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Of course, this is Leonardo, the leader of the group, and I've said that I'm not a fan of the artwork of the show. I did not like the clip I saw of it, so I haven't seen the show. But I figured I'd go ahead and pick up the action figures and see how they were, give them a chance. I got the 4 main turtles. I found them at my local Target on the south side of Indianapolis over in the Southport area. And, well, here he is, Leo. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Leonardo in the packaging, and the box art is very colorful. It's got the artwork from the show, which I am not a fan of at all. We get Leonardo in the package here. He's got quite a bit of accessories. He's got a little skateboard. He's got a sword. He's got another type of sword. One's translucent plastic, one is not. And then he has some throwing stars. So it's got a lot of accessories, and I like that. And the other thing I do like about this series so far is that each turtle is a different species of turtle, and Leonardo is a red-eared slider, which is a turtle that is very common around here in Indiana. And it makes sense because at first I thought he had war paint on or something, and I didn't understand the red on his face. But now that I know he's a red-eared slider, well, that kind of makes sense. So that's kind of cool. And then it says he is the trickster, which is kind of weird. That's out of character for him. I'm not sure why they didn't just say he's the leader. We get the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo down there, which looks pretty cool, and you get pizza points, whatever that means. Sides of the packaging doesn't have anything on it, so just kind of a close-up really quick. There's the artwork from the show. There he is, and there's the logo, and yeah, that's the front of the package. Back of the package, also very colorful. Nice blue, I like that, for Leonardo. Looks very comic book-like. We get a write-up of the show. We get a write-up of the character himself. And then we get a list of all the other figures in the line. We get the 4 turtles. There's April, and she comes with some kind of cat-looking thing. April's different. She looks like a little African-American girl this time around, which is interesting. And then we've got a fat little Splinter. I don't know what the deal is that. And then we get these villains who are not Shredder and the Foot Soldiers. It's Baron something or other. What is it? Baron Draxum? I don't know if he's an alien or what's going on. We get Meat Sweats, which I love that name, who is another mutant pig butcher. I don't know. And then we get an origami ninja, which, did they fold him? Is he paper? But it's got a foot logo there, so maybe he's a prototype foot soldier. I don't know. I haven't seen the show. If you know, leave a comment down below. Alright, so a close-up here. Here is the write-up on the series. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. There is the artwork for Leo, looking kind of neat. And then there is the bio on Leo. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. And then here are all the other figures in Wave 1. And, well, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Leo out of box and see what we think. So here we have Leonardo out of the packaging, and he has a humongous sword. Now he comes with 2 swords, one regular sword, which I have on the back here, and that one's pretty decently sized, but yeah, this translucent energized one, man, this thing's huge. It reminds me of the sword that Megatron has in Transformers Prime. Now, like all the other turtles, he does come with 2 of these little throwing stars, exactly the same on all the turtles. And like Michelangelo, he comes with a skateboard, which I definitely dig that. And the skateboard rolls really, really well. It's a translucent blue, which I like. It matches the sword, and it matches his color scheme. But I gotta say, the skateboard seems a little bit small. I wish it was a little bit bigger. Oh, that's what she said. But other than that, I can't really complain much. Let me take this guy off of here, and then we'll take this off of here. And then here's his other sword. Now, much like the other weapons, with the like Raphael and Donatello, the non-translucent plastic ones, this is a very kind of malleable rubberish kind of plastic, which is really, really weird, and I don't particularly care for that. Now, as far as articulation goes on Leonardo here, his head does turn. He could look down really, really far, which is nice. He doesn't look up that far. His arms can go out like this. They got a twist at the shoulder. There is a hinge at the elbow, and it also twists, much like the other turtles. And then he's got a twist. It's not actually at the wrist, but it's at the end of these cuffs, which is a little different from the other turtles. He can kick that far forward, that far back. He can kick out pretty good when you twist the legs around. He's got the single joint on the knee that can also twist, which is cool. And then he's got the hinge joint on the foot that also twists. So you can get him into some decent little poses. But it would be a little bit cooler if he had that ankle rocker on it. I think they could just get into a better ninja pose. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, you know, it's an okay design. I was really confused by the red on his face when I first saw it. I thought it was war paint, and then I discovered that he was a red-eared slider turtle, which is pretty cool because that's a very common turtle around here in Indiana. I wish he would have had some more of the yellow markings that we see on red-ear sliders on the shell and the body. That would have been a little cooler, but you can only go so far with the cartoon and toy, I guess. He's got the standard bandana that we're used to seeing with the turtles, which is cool. It's kind of got a longer tie-off in the back. He's got a very face going on there. He does have the same little badge on his belt that all the other turtles have. And then his belt is blue, much like the other turtles, except for Michelangelo. His is the only one that's brown, which is kind of interesting. Again, the sculpt is pretty decent on the shell. I just wish it had a little bit more paint markings on it. And, you know, the belt, I wish it had two places to store the weapon. Maybe one on the hip and then one on the back so that he could have stored both of the swords. Now, looking at the midsection of the figure, I like how the sword has a blue hilt. That's kind of nice. That matches him. And then he's got some little pockets on his belt for supplies, I guess. I'm not really sure what's going on there with that. And then he's got these kind of gauntlets on his hands that has some blue on there, and they're kind of a grayish color. Maybe for sword fighting, can use to block. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. But overall, it's pretty decent. Everything else is sculpted pretty nice. I like the trim cut of his shell in the front. That looks pretty darn decent. And then the sculpt work on the back looks pretty good too. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure. Now, he is, I believe, the only one that has nothing on his legs except for his foot wraps. There's no knee pads or anything like that. He just has really high socks wrapped around. They're like gray wraps, and then there's a blue wrap at the very top of it, which is pretty decent. It looks pretty cool. I like the wrap design. That looks pretty good, and they've added the blue on there. Everything else is really kind of basic and what you would expect out of a Mutant Ninja Turtle foot. For comparison, so here we have a Leonardo with his brothers in the wave. We got Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo, and I mean, he works for the most part, I think. I wish he was a little bit taller. He's about the same size as Donatello. I wish he was a little closer in height to Raphael with that kind of body build. I like the color green. They're all a little different color greens, which is very cool. And makes sense because they're all different types of turtles. Now, as far as my favorites, I would have to say that my favorite figure out of the line's got to be Raphael, which is kind of interesting because I'm not a big Raphael fan, but I like his bulk and size, and those energized fists are very cool. The number 2 pick's got to go to Donatello because he really surprised me with his little hard shell that comes off of his soft shell, that little shell armor, and he's got the little drone, which is very cool. Then it'd be Michelangelo. I like the 80s kind of look going on with him. And then I would have to say that Leonardo's the weakest of the 4. Sorry, Leo. So is Leonardo from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a figure you want in your turtle collection? As I've said before, if you collect all the turtle lines or you're collecting this particular line, then yes, you gotta have Leo. I mean, he's the leader of the group. You know, this is by far, I think, the weakest of the 4 turtles. There was nothing really like ooh and ah about this figure that the other ones kind of gave me. You know, the fact that he came with a, you know, skateboard, I did like that, but there wasn't anything like, ooh, I didn't know this, I didn't know this. You know, he is a red-eared slider. I do like that. Explains the red on his face. The fact they made different species of turtles, I definitely dig that. But other than that, he's kind of plain Jane compared to the others. Which, I guess all 4 of them can't be hits. So there he is, Leonardo from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.